What's going on today, y'all? I have a interview with a couple of people, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Today, I'm coming to you guys with advice hour, I guess, more or less. I got an email from someone asking, how do you deal with in-laws from hell? And to be honest with you guys, I see way more of this on television than I've have actually experienced myself. And I always watch things like Dr. Phil and like certain movies, and I tell myself, if it was me, I would just totally handle it a certain type of way. But I am lucky enough to have in-laws that get along. My mother loves my husband, and I love my husband's mom. I get along with his brothers. I get along with his grandmother. I get along pretty much with his family. He gets along with mine. So we don't have a lot of tit for tat or sabotage or whatever. We don't have a whole lot of that. I mean, there's always going to be disagreements because we're humans and people are not going to always see eye to eye. But I think for the most part, we handle it kind of well. In the beginning of my marriage, I had to definitely get a better understanding and feel for who his mother was, because the way I grew up and the way my husband grew up was totally different. Our moms are totally different. I was used to a more standoffish mother. Like my mom, she loved us, but she just didn't get too involved with certain things after a certain age. So it was kind of a shell shock for me when his mom was like all for it, and it kind of threw me off, and it made me really standoffish because I just wasn't used to that type of love. My mother loved me and my sister totally differently, and I just wasn't used to that type of love. But at some point in the relationship between him and I, and me and her, I got a better understanding and a better appreciation for the way she loved, because it was something that I didn't even realize that I might have been missing from my own mother. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. I got, one mother on one hand. If I really genuinely need to have like a deep talk, I can definitely go to his mother and have a deep talk. Whereas though my mother, she's not as emotional, so if I need to have just general conversation, I have my mother on this side. So it's kind of good to have the balance of both, definitely. But hypothetically speaking, if I had in-laws from hell, I think my best way of handling them would to be like, I would want to see if maybe I did something wrong or said something wrong that may have created a rift, because sometimes we don't realize when we're speaking to people, the way we say things, what we may say, like something that may be funny to us and our friends and maybe even our spouse may not be funny to that parent, or our disposition on things may turn a person off, or vice versa. If they've done or said something to you, be willing to be respectful and, sit down and go, hey, the other day you were talking to me and you said some stuff that I really wasn't, okay with, and it's been bothering me and I want to talk about it. I threw the be respectful part out there because no matter what the situation is, you're married or you're about to get married, or, your thoughts are there of marriage, or just in a relationship in general, you never want to be disrespectful. You want to hold your class, and you want to hold your position as respectful, and you want to hold, I guess you want to hold just knowing where to kind of draw the line on the way you say or do things. The best way to kind of put a rift in any type of relationship, friendship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, fiance, whatever, the best way to do that is to be disrespectful to the parent, or to be disrespectful to that parent figure in that person's life. When you do that, you put your spouse, your partner, your friend, you put them in a really, really fucked up position, because now they have to pick sides. Now they have to say something to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So you never want to put a person in a position where they have to go left or right. You always want to try to just keep it as neutral as you possibly can. Listen, defend yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Defend yourself, but do not be disrespectful. It is definitely a way for us to say things to other people without being rude, without being petty, without being childish, without being disrespectful. We have to hold our own position. We are only in control of the way we respond to a situation. We do not have any control over the way a person speaks to us. We can say, hey, listen, I don't like when you talk to me like that. I am not a child. And first, that's first and foremost. I'm not a child. I'm grown. And you can speak to me with some type of respect. I mean, that's not disrespectful. But if you go into it already, guns blazing, oh, you're not gonna fucking talk to me. When you go into the situation like that, it's going to end bad, and you definitely become a part of the problem. If you were not a part of the problem in the beginning, you become a part of the problem right then, right there. Saying things that you cannot take back, it's already out there. It's in the atmosphere. If you let that person get you so riled up that you just start spewing things that you cannot take back, it's almost like impossible to have a normal relationship. Like, yeah, they can hug you and kiss you and tell you, all is forgiven, but that is always going to linger in the back of that person's mind. Same with you. You're going to always hear whatever nasty, dirty thing they said about you. And that's going to always linger in the back of your mind, that subconsciously it's like, yeah, that's how you feel about me for real. Because if you'd have never said that. No matter how mad you got, I see how you really feel. So I always tell people, when you're in any type of argument, any type of disagreement with a person, you have to hold your own. You have to be in control of your emotions, and you have to be in control of what you say and how you respond. Like, somebody screaming and yelling at you and doing whatever, yes, you definitely need to defend yourself, but it's the way that you defend yourself. You don't have to stoop down to that level of name calling or whatever, because here's the thing. At some point, there's going to be a makeup period. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's usually a makeup period. And when you help to create the conflict and you help to create the problem, they have that against you. They have that over your head when you guys ever get into it again. If you were to ever get into it again. Or you remember you said, yeah, that's how you. So you, and you may not even feel that way, but you just responded to the attack. And you can say, well, I don't really feel like that. You were just saying, and then it just, it creates more of a conflict, because now the person's like, well, why would you say something like that if you didn't mean it, or whatever the case may be. So I always just try to be in control of my feelings as best as I possibly can, because I am not perfect, and I most definitely have been in situations where somebody has pressed a button or four, and I have just let it all come out, and it's just, I can't take the stuff back. And as I've gotten older, I realized that because I had those word vomiting moments, that my friendships with certain people just are not the same. Like my dad, my relationship with my father is completely off, and I meant everything I said to him, but I didn't mean for it to come out the way it did. My words were true, and I definitely could have found a better way to say them to him, to get it across without being disrespectful or being mean. But my emotions took over, and that's just how it came out. And my relationship with my father it's probably never gonna be remotely daddy daughter closeness, because he knows how I feel, and not only does he know how I feel, it's anger behind those words now. Like, so I cannot try to explain the anger away, because you can already tell that it's anger. So if you're in the middle of a situation like that and you're angry or you're pissed off or whatever, sometimes it's best to walk away. Sometimes it'll be like, I'm gonna remove myself from this conversation. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to come down to whatever level you're on right now. So I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna remove myself from the situation. And if you are a wife or a husband and you're standing there watching your spouse be attacked by your mother or your father or your sisters or your brothers or whoever it may be, remember this. We didn't sign up for the conflict. We signed up for the love and whatever it is that we're going to go through with you. So be mindful of that and be sensitive to that. Be sensitive to the fact that that person is possibly being attacked by somebody that you love. So you have to step up and say something sometimes. And also, again, in a respectful way. Hey, listen, I love you, but I love him. I love her. My love for you definitely doesn't change just because I love this person. So we need to figure out a way to find some common ground. Or, maybe it'll just be best if I don't bring this person, around as often because you guys can't get along and I'm not going to have you be disrespectful to the person that I love, and I don't want it to get to a point where the person that I love feels the need to be disrespectful to you. Sometimes you have to put that ultimatum out there because parents sometimes don't understand, especially if you're young, or if you've been here before and they've seen it before, and they just feel like they're trying to protect you from hurt. You have to kind of put your foot down somewhere and be an adult and say that's too much. You've crossed the line. You've gone way too far. So again, my best advice for you would be to sit down, see if it's something maybe you've done or said that created a rift, and again, vice versa. If it's something they've done or said to you that might have offended or might have made you feel some type of way, is definitely okay to find a respectful way to approach that situation and just try to talk it out. And if for whatever reason those things don't work and you guys cannot find a common ground, then it's probably just best to agree to disagree, and you hold your position as high as you can. Let them be mad, let them be upset, let them zap out, defend yourself, be respectful. Do not stoop to that level. Do not give the person the satisfaction to say, see, I told you that's how he or she was, or I told you, she's disrespectful, he's disrespectful, look at how they're speaking to me. You don't ever want to give somebody the upper hand over you and allow you to react wrong. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully you can get it together with your in-laws and you guys can find some common ground, not just for your sanity and their sanity, but for your partner's sanity. Nobody likes to sit back and watch the people that they love fight and argue with each other. It's hard, and it makes us uncomfortable. I know, if my husband ever was to fight with my mother or my sister, I would be completely uncomfortable, and but I would have to stand up if him, if they were wrong, and vice versa. If he was just coming at them, I have to stand up for them if he's wrong. It's really a matter of that. So hopefully this helps. Follow me on Twitter at MissDreamer22. And if you have any questions, please, please, please email me at KeetaJ08 at gmail.com. That's KeetaJay at gmail.com. I will be back with you guys on Sunday with maybe a story time or maybe another email. I have a couple. So, yeah. Peace out, guys. Love you.